Discover trends and global developments years before they happen, right here on The Alex Jones Show.
Well, this morning, President Trump took to Twitter and says, why did the Obama administration start an investigation into the Trump campaign long before the election in November? Wanted to discredit so Crooked H would win, unprecedented, bigger than Watergate. Plus, Obama did nothing about Russian meddling. Yet here is Robert Mueller continuing his investigation into Trump and collusion, moving on from Russia to Saudi Arabia. Here's Alex Jones breaking it down.
We could not understand why the Trump administration was so firmly taking the Saudis' side in this dispute.
They're 80% of Islam. Mecca's based there. They run the whole thing. They're running it. So you go to who is in charge to stop it. Robert Mueller has moved on from Russiagate to now investigating Saudi influence and Chinese influence. And I'm going to play the part about Saudi influence. And they go, and Trump's under criminal investigation. I thought it was about Russians. Why did Trump go to Saudi Arabia instead of Qatar or the UAE? Because Saudi Arabia runs the whole Middle East except for Iran. It runs 80% of Islam, the Sunnis. They were the ones funding ISIS and funding the Democrats. They arrested thousands of the ruling class who were funding the deep state here. Trump went there to cut the funding off, short of having a war with Saudi Arabia. And the king was so blown away with the president there knowing everything off his briefings with General Flynn and other generals that sent Flynn, whose names I'm not supposed to say, some of the former heads of the and president's advisors. I'm just letting the deep state know I know all of it. That was brought, and then ISIS crumbled. And it helped Russia defeat ISIS in the U.S. military. That's how you do it. Why have a war if you can go to the Saudi king and go, I know you're threatened by internal groups using ISIS to control you. Because the Saudis, some of them don't like this either. They want to just, be successful and not be radical Islam. Now they're reforming. Women can drive cars. Women can have jobs. Hijabs may come off. Trump went and said, I can overthrow you right now. Stop it. And they made a deal. That is then spun into being anti-American. We're Saudi agents.
Investigators want to know if
we're anyone's agents but us.
Of the UAE to buy political favor or influence with the Trump campaign through campaign money. The businessman George Nader, the Times reports, was a frequent visitor to the Trump White House in 2017, advised top Trump aides on Middle East policy ahead of the president's visit to Saudi Arabia last year, and Nader has been a sort of advisor to one of the leaders of the UAE. Now the special counsel is interviewing witnesses about Emirati influence and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner's family business ties to the Middle East.
Like if you wanted to end World War II before it started, you'd go to Hitler. Owen, this is Twilight Zone now.
Well, think about it. Just like Russia, who was it? There was
No. It was never Russia. It was Saudi collusion.
But it was.
No, we're going to arrest Trump for Saudi collusion.
But who actually colluded with the Saudis? Okay, you're looking at exactly. So they take everything that Hillary.
He was there cutting off their funding.
So does this once again though? But does this show? I mean, what does this show about Mueller? Does this show that Mueller is covering for Hillary? I mean, what? Because that is just so weird. I mean, why all of a sudden is Mueller looking into Saudi Arabia? Like, what's going on with that?
All we know is, why did he go to Saudi Arabia? It's only the most powerful country in the Middle East, not Israel. Israel has nukes, but financially, Saudi Arabia.
Since when? Here's another incredible angle. This wasn't even news. People have been colluding with Russia and Saudi Arabia.
Well, they call the president under the Constitution can make any deal he wants. Then if you want to impeach him, that's fine, but he has that power. I can imagine what he's going through behind the scenes. I can just imagine. There's evidence of Russian collusion with Hillary. Well, we know that. It's confirmed. Mueller and Comey separately ordered stand-downs when she was Secretary of State under Obama and when she was co-president back in the 90s with Bill Clinton.
These witnesses have already left the department, which means the Inspector General does not have jurisdiction. And there are other agencies like the State Department where Michael Horowitz at DOJ has no jurisdiction whatsoever. Maria, over the weekend, I've counted up almost 24 witnesses that the Inspector General would not have access to were he alone conducting this investigation. So I think we're trending perhaps towards another special counsel because of this unique fact pattern and the fact that there are witnesses outside the reach of.
Fire from all cylinders. Fire, blast away. Welcome to the Info War. Owen Schroyer sitting in for Alex Jones. We're going to be hearing from Alex at the bottom of the hour. stacks of news coming in, reports coming in, specials breaking, a huge interview with Ted Nugent that InfoWars is going to have the exclusive on here soon. We've got some clips of that. But I'm not sure what the biggest news is right now, because you've got the tech left trying to censor free speech, censor conservatives. On top of that now, you have conservatives being doxxed by, we can only estimate what is the radical left. Michael Savage has all of his secret homes, quote unquote, visited by political operatives in the last 3 days. How did they get that information? You had the Huffington Post dox a Florida teacher who has a podcast that she's just, a conservative free thinker. I went and I listened to it, very libertarian ideas, but she's a white nationalist, so the HuffPost doxes her, and now her job is probably in jeopardy. And then we've got all these video clips that we're going to play today. Whenever InfoWars goes out in the streets, whether it's myself or Jake Lloyd or Millie Weaver, we get spit at, we get assaulted, we get shoved. There's this one weird tactic that the left does where they just come up to you and they kind of just shove their butt into you. I don't know. It's really weird. And so this is what we deal with. But this is why they're trying to censor our channel. So you've got that huge story, the censorship, attacking free speech, attacking the Second Amendment. But then you've got President Trump this morning tweeting out about the Obama administration's illegal spying, saying it's bigger than Watergate. Now, this is true. It is bigger than Watergate. We've got all the evidence. We know who colluded with Russia. And so now Mueller is taking his investigation into a different direction and looking at Saudi Arabia, looking in that direction. And there's nothing there except more Hillary crimes to cover up. So you see this from President Trump, and his base scratches their heads and says, well, why aren't we doing something? Why aren't people being arrested? Why isn't Obama being hauled in front of a committee for a hearing right now? Why isn't that going on? Why aren't people hauling in these FISA judges, asking them questions? Did they try to hide the fact this was opposition research paid for by Hillary Clinton? See, think about it. The left gets to start violence at Trump rallies. They get caught by Project Veritas. Bob Kramer gets fired. Aaron Black gets exposed. The left gets to censor you on social media, whether it be Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Google, rigging up their algorithms. The left gets to collude with Russia to make up opposition research that's then used to slander and libel President Trump. And this is what the left, all being done by the political left right now. But a conservative is a Nazi or a white nationalist if they want a border. This is madness. This is chaos. This is 1984. This is mental illness is what it is. I mean, you want to talk about mental illness, you've got leading stories. If feces on the streets of San Francisco isn't enough for you, you go over to the East Coast in New York City and there's going to be some pervert on the subway jacking off. So that's a story now out of New York, while you've got piles of feces in San Francisco. Democrat-run cities. It's mental illness. And it just all happens to be on the political left right now. So YouTube we've gone from 1 strike to 2 strikes to 3 strikes to 2 strikes to 1 strike, basically in the last 24 or 48 hours. Drudge is still covering it. YouTube hits InfoWars with 3rd strike. His fight goes nuclear. Links to our story at Infowars.com. Then you've got Dick's is now purging pro-gun patriotic merchandise. So I guess if you want to, buy a T-shirt that has a American flag on it, don't go to Dick's, because that's patriotic merchandise. You can't have that. Or I don't know, maybe there's like a flag T-shirt with like a Moan Labe or like a rifle on it or something. Nope, you can't do that either. No. like I said earlier, you've got a Florida teacher accused of having a white nationalist podcast, just a conservative podcast. She gets doxxed by the Huffington Post. The Puffington Post over there doxes a Florida teacher for having a conservative podcast. Because, you know, you're not allowed to have a free speech if you're a conservative. If you're a liberal, if you're a good liberal, and you are making death threats to conservatives and making death threats to the president and having death threats in your music videos and your plays and everything, that's just a good liberal. See, it's a good liberal to have a play called Kill Climate Deniers. You see, this is the hatred of the left. The left is honestly a death cult. That's not just rhetoric. There's a reason why they pretend to kill Donald Trump in their music videos and their art and their plays. There's a reason why they have a play called Kill Climate Deniers. That's what they want to do. They want to kill you. But even this is a misnomer. See, do you see how they twist things? This is 1984. They are the climate deniers. They are the ones that deny science. They make up formulas and then say that proves global warming. There is no science. From the very beginning, who they dub a climate denier were the ones that said, no, this is climate. This is climate change. This is what happens. So we say climate change. They say man-made global warming. Now you got record snowfall, record cold temperatures, nor'easters everywhere. And so they have to take a step back from for saying man-made global warming, because that's obviously fake news. Now they look like idiots on that. They get exposed rigging the temperatures. So now they just say man-made climate change. And if you don't think it's man-made, then you're a climate denier. And if you are a climate denier, well, then we have to kill you. And it doesn't stop there. They're going to want to kill you if you're a Christian. They're going to kill you if you're a nationalist, a conservative. I mean, this is what it's all about. That's why they want to just censor everything. They say they're about free speech, and then they censor everything that opposes their views. They say that they're for life and love and life. Oh, it's so good. But then they abort babies. They hate you. Another big story that's on Infowars.com from Leo Zagami. We're reaching out to him right now. Italy's 2018 rigged elections. Italy will most likely remain in the hands of the left-wing mondialists sponsored and manipulated by George Soros. Trying to get Leo on to talk about that. Not to mention, you've got this breaking news where the Vatican is essentially being blackmailed by a escort who's saying that there's at least 40 gay priests in the Vatican and drugs, prostitution, blackmail. So that's all developing right now as well. Leo Zagami is the expert to talk about on all that. Like I said, I'm going to have the clips. We're going to have some clips of videos that they want banned. But, folks, we are truly all under attack here. And if they can take down InfoWars, they can take down everybody. And CNN is behind a lot of this. And I theorize that CNN is going and flagging our videos, or you know, the Brian Stelters at CNN have nothing better to do. So we have just extended the Paul Revere special to the Defeat CNN to Crush InfoWars special. So the Defeat CNN to Crush InfoWars special. So if you want to defeat CNN, go to InfoWarsStore.com, take advantage of our huge specials, free shipping store-wide, and then 50% off some of the most popular products like Super Male Vitality, The Real Red Pill, Biome Defense, and True Whey. And then you've got specials on another top seller like Brain Force, 80% off some of the apparel right now. And again, free shipping store-wide, So for big-ticket items like emergency food supplies and the air filters and the water filters, take advantage of the free shipping because you get big savings on that. All right, on the other side, we're going to go to some of these viral videos on the Alex Jones YouTube channel. This is the reason why they want us banned. Nobody else will do what we do. Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. Owen Schroyer filling in for Alex today. We're going to be hearing from Alex at the bottom of the hour. He's got some breaking news to cover. Now, what I want to do in this segment and the next is to play some of the videos that we feature on the Alex Jones channel here that you're just not going to get anywhere else. We go out on the street and we offer the Trump protesters, the liberals, the protesters, the women marchers, a platform. And we give them a microphone and we say, hey, what's on your mind? Why are you out here protesting? What do you think about this issue? What do you think about this? And we experience pretty much the same thing every time. Either they're completely clueless, they're ignorant, they have no idea what they're doing there, or they're hateful, they're violent, and they're disgusting. So this first video that we're going to go to, Jake Lloyd goes to UT to file a man on the street, where I'm convinced now, it used to be we could go out and actually do a report and not just be harassed the whole time. We've kind of passed that threshold now. And I think that UT has like lookouts or something. And whenever we go to UT's campus now, they have like an email chain or something, and they inform people, and then they go out and they seek us out so that they can try to disrupt our videos. But that's fine, because please, it's great content. So please let the crazy liberals know when we go to UT, and please come embarrass yourself so that we can get videos like this. So these are the types of videos that they want banned from YouTube, because it shows the left for who they really are. So here's Jake Lloyd going to UT, just trying to shoot a video, ask people what they think about issues, when he's rudely disrupted by some liberal protesters.
Oh my gosh, why are you wearing a mask? Why are you wearing a mask? You know who wears masks? Criminals wear masks. People about ready to commit a crime, that's who wears masks.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
The Democrat Party is the party of criminals. Still being run by Hillary Clinton, one of the biggest of all time.
All right. You're blocking the wrong side of the phone there. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
So here's Jake Lloyd. He can't even film this or report. His cameraman's getting shoved.
Run off with that shit.
Hey, oh no.
You don't grab my shit.
Oh yeah, then they run away.
Please stop touching us.
Can you not, though?
Please stop. Can I not?
This is what they do. They get up in your face and they either rub like their body on you like some weird fetish, or they shove their sign in your face, and then you fight back and you're like, hey, get off me. And they're like, whoa, what are you doing? You're out of control.
Losers like to assault people.
Okay, I understand, but like this is also like a school environment, and like from no one.
Yeah, we're trying to engage in political discourse, and we have people like this guy coming up and assaulting.
School
people.
environment. You're not allowed to have free speech. School environment. No free speech here. School environment.
That's a lie.
School environment.
No, it's not. I shoved him. He grabbed the fucking wire, tried to pull it out of my hand.
Oh yeah.
I shoved him off.
Yeah, that's a tactic they always try to do. Is they rip our wires.
We started it, but that's fine. We
like
have
the
footage
Chicken
of
Man.
everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways. Till the police can get here, we're going to describe this. We're going to keep trying to talk to people and see if anybody wants to talk to us. Oh. Oh, okay.
I just heard them plug Super Male Vitality.
We were having so much fun.
50% off right now.
We were actually like kind of had like a little cute thing going on here, and then people want to come up and have an issue. So Jake Lloyd back again for Infowars.com. We had to take a little break there for just a moment.
So there you go. So there's one example. Again, Jake just goes out. He's trying to shoot a man on the street, saying, hey, I think he was trying to talk about gun control in this one, or Trump or something. I don't remember. And they just show up. They shove their signs. And then, you know what? We might have to pull this video. If you've ever heard of Fleckus Talks, all of these protesters, he asked them if they vote. None of them even vote. They don't even vote. I guarantee you those people out there carrying those signs don't even vote. They probably don't even know anything about those candidates. But regardless, that's what happens. Jake Lloyd just goes out, and because he has an Infowars mic flag, he's the bad guy. Jake Lloyd, oh, it's an Infowars reporter. Get him. Get him. Go shove a sign in his face. We're for free speech. Go stop his right to free speech. We're loving and tolerant. Let's go like weird fetishly rub our butt on him. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest thing. Ask anybody who goes to these things. They all do the same thing. Now, there was this was a march for Trump in Austin, Texas this weekend that I attended. And there were, again, some radical commies that showed up to try to disrupt things. Here's a video of one of them getting arrested.
Look at this lady. No. You know this lady. You know her. You know her.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
How are you today, ma'am?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, you have a sign. Why don't you execute your free speech?
I feel bad for that
woman. How's your day been?
You may recognize her from other viral videos.
Hey, how's your day been?
Wow.
How's your pirate radio show?
This is the guy.
Were you the one that took it down? Did you destroy that tower? Wait, was that you?
Tower wasn't destroyed, dude.
Oh, okay. Here's some other.
That guy got in a fight earlier. Got his butt kicked.
Trump today?
That's why he has glass on. He had a huge black guy.
Alt, right, delete. All right. Don't want to talk. I think that's pretty much it, though. Here. Hold on.
That lady was pointing them out.
Hold on. We've got another Trump protester here. Here, sir, Trump protester. Look at all the Trump protesters on the street. We got a Trump protester. Anything, sir? Anything? No. Trump protester, sir? No, nothing. No, nothing from the Trump protesters. I thought the Trump protesters would want to talk.
They never do.
That's funny. All right, let's speed up the pace here.
Full of that. I didn't think you were that. I just.
Well, that's true.
They're right over there.
Okay. We got some communist Antifa protesters here. We saw that guy back there.
You see the rainbow flag up there?
Rainbow flag? I see a sign. Usually, there they are. Okay. Oh wow, we've got some wild ones.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they all had their faces covered as usual.
Okay, let's check this out. All right, so here's the police here maintaining a line.
Did you see all those Trump protesters in the street, though?
And hey, this is what you call keep Austin weird. No. This is what you
wait
call
till you
keep
see who's
Austin
in this
weird
video.
right here.
Oh my! I can't believe I'm reliving this right now. This is like weird for me. Look at this. This is what I had to deal with.
One's getting arrested here. Come here. We got a protester getting arrested now. See if you can get a shot of this. Oh, we're getting blocked here. Yeah, I'm on you.
I do believe that this was the only arrest from the march.
Right now.
There he is.
He's got his face covered.
Face covered, helmet on. Wearing all black.
Apparently
Black Lives Matter shirt, I think.
White over here.
What is it? All racist? What does his shirt say? Nah, he doesn't know.
So there's one down.
If you got a whole paragraph on the front of your shirt,
right.
Good luck.
We're being told to keep moving now.
All right, so there you go. So there's an example of some of the stuff. Oh my God! See, if you follow our videos, and we're gonna play more of these later. We're actually about to be joined by Leo Zagami here, coming up in the next segment for half an hour to talk about his newest article on the Italian elections, as well as the blackmail supposedly that's being sent to the Vatican right now. But we're gonna have more of those videos. But there was this, I'm telling you, actually having to like watch that and relive it, it's like eerie, man. I mean, those people are really just sad. The one woman, you'll recognize the one woman, she's been in a viral video. She's like totally soul-sucked. You feel bad for her. And then you've got this other woman, the famous woman who makes fart noises with her mouth. She was back out on Saturday. She was still making fart noises with her mouth, but she added the clown costume this time. You see, she wasn't crazy enough with just making the fart noises. Now she wants to be a clown that makes fart noises. I mean, they're really ratcheting it up. When they go high, I mean, they go high, baby. We'll be hearing from Alex in the next segment. In this segment, though, I'm joined by Leo Zagami. He has just published the article on Infowars.com, Italy's 2018 rigged elections. He's going to be breaking this down with us right now. Leo, thank you so much for joining us on short notice today.
Hello, everybody. It's actually my birthday, so I guess...
Oh, well, happy birthday.
A pleasant surprise on both sides. And I hope to give you the latest information on what apparently is a rigged election from the start. I mean, they worked for over a year on placing this new voting system called Rosatellum. And basically, they have done something that is only facilitating the possibility to maintain the same positions, maybe activating some new alliances in the process, because there is a limit of 40% that is required to each party or coalition for having the governability of Italy and establishing a new government. As 40% in a proportional system with many parties is almost impossible, these elections are basically rigged. And they have also, part of this electoral system has been built in a way that you're not really capable as a candidate to have your own independence, because the party is just getting those ones who are already in their, let's say, in the process, in the sanitarian process, chosen from on top. And they don't have to necessarily be from the same party. In fact, in communist Bologna, in left-wing Bologna, an ex-Christian Democrat like Ferdinando Casini, who is the favorite politician of Pope Francis, was re-elected thanks to a left-wing party. That would be impossible to even imagine 40 or 50 years ago, when the Christian Democrats and the communists were fighting against each other. Then we had also the re-election, for example, of an old Berlusconi politician called Lorenzin, who was, though, minister for Matteo Renzi, and she was also re-elected by rigging the system in Modena. So we have also in Milan, for example, a whole area of Milan where the electorate, of course, was pushed to vote for the people chosen by George Soros, because George Soros has been really present in these Italian elections. And what people from the international media tend to ignore is that even the so-called revolutionaries of these elections, the Five-Star Movement, who have become the first party in Italy with 30% of the votes, have actually already chose a minister for their economy who works for the open democracy and for the open society of George Soros. So they might now force a sort of coalition between all the factions that are under George Soros in the left wing, and come up with probably another government by the same people, more or less. There is even the possibility that the present prime minister, who is Paolo Gentiloni, will stay in his place for a second mandate. So these elections, which of course have seen a rise in the populist vote, because the Northern League has risen so high in the coalition that was led by Berlusconi, that basically Berlusconi now is not anymore the leader of this coalition, but is Matteo Salvini. And Matteo Salvini has just gone a few minutes ago to visit Silvio Berlusconi in his villa, apparently staying only for a little while. And this is a sign of a very tense situation, because behind the scenes, like I wrote also in a recent article, Matteo Salvini, of course, is a typical far-right populist that is working for the sovereignty of Italy. While instead, Berlusconi behind the scenes might have struck a secret deal with Matteo Renzi. However, now the Democrat leader in Italy, which is Matteo Renzi, which is, of course, a tool of the Clinton Foundation, of George Soros, he is about to be kicked out of his own party. But they have been waiting now for his resignations for hours. And this resignation, of course, is being delayed and delayed longer times for giving this resignation, which of course is inevitable. But because behind the scenes, apparently, there is the possibility that the Five-Star Movement strikes a deal with the left wing of George Soros and part of the Democrat Party. And in that case, they will have the majority of the House, and they will be able to establish this new government that in any case is ruled by George Soros, who will continue to flood Italy with immigrants, who will continue with his demented policies. So in the end, nothing will really change. What I think is very sad out of these Italian elections is that the Italians wasted 400 million euros for organizing these elections, and it was a complete farce, meaning they had devised this new anti-fraudulent system, but it was a fiasco.
Well, it seems to me that the Rosatellum system that you're talking about is really just in opposition to stop any grassroots movements from having any political grounds. Again, the story is on Infowars.com. You also get into a role of Steve Bannon in these elections as well. Again, all of that is in the story at Infowars.com. But Leo, before we go here, we got just over 2 minutes left. I'm sure that you've heard about the blackmail scandal that is enveloping the Vatican right now, with a male escort who's saying that at least 40 gay priests were sent to the Vatican What can you tell us about this? What do you know about this?
Well, this story is very important because apparently this male escort has saved around 50 screenshots of all his partners in the Catholic Church. So he has evidence with these screenshots of all the requests that he was getting. Some of the requests are outrageous. I mean, a group of monks invited him to their monastery in the middle of a forest so he could be a passive partner to their sexual exploitations. And he said, well, I hope you're passive. We are free monks. We want to invite you for this gay orgy. And this is only one of the many things that comes out of this scandal involving this male escort. So, I mean, the situation is very tense because there is a possibility that this male escort might really need a few bodyguards to stay alive, because with the amount of information that he could bring out, he could definitely put in trouble a lot of people. Here we're not talking only about Catholic priests, but also cardinals, bishops, and the hierarchy of the Vatican, of course, is very scared of all this.
And of course, this is all kind of right on the heels of the #2 to the Pope, who is also enveloped in a scandal as well. I mean, how does the Vatican deal with this? How is the Vatican dealing with this? I mean, this is serious stuff, serious allegations. I'm not hearing about any reform. I'm not hearing the Pope address this. I mean, are they just trying to brush it under the rug?
Absolutely, Owen. And there is even another scandal that has come out in the last few days regarding a priest who was condemned by the Italian authorities, but the Vatican, since last week, reinstalled him so he could preach Mass, he could celebrate Mass. So this is really scandalous, and of course, all this is in the Italian media is being sided on, is being put cleverly on the side during these elections, which of course are taking the majority of the space, even if they are completely rigged, and we know that nothing will change.
All right, Leo Zagami, thank you so much for your time. Again, the story, Italy's 2018 rigged elections by Leo Zagami, is on Infowars.com right now. I say the Vatican, I mean, we need serious reformation. The Pope is a joke. The halls and the basements and the dwellings of the Vatican need to be investigated. What kind of secret history does the Vatican know?
Many people are saying, "Oh, the president was just joking." I could give you a list of 1,000 things where they claimed the president was joking afterwards. And if there was laughter, there was laughter. People made uncomfortable. But there are statements in the past that Donald Trump has made where he has praised Xi for consolidating power. China has become more and more autocratic over the past 6 months to a year. He's made conscious moves to become more and more autocratic. You have Donald Trump praising Erdogan when he consolidates power. Duterte when he goes out and does brags about doing extrajudicial. This is important though. When Republicans, Gene, are just saying it's just a joke, or when Republicans ignore the fact that this man is talking about being president for life, if they think that Donald Trump is joking, then they're fools.
Alex Jones here on the road with two really important points I want to make. In a moment, I'll get into CNN's claim and now MSNBC's claim via Joe Scarborough that President Trump wants to be a dictator. We'll get to that in a moment. First off, I just really want to upfront thank all the listeners and viewers and supporters and activists and pro-liberty people out there that have taken action in the last 2 weeks while InfoWars has been under massive boycotts, massive hack attacks, massive disinformation campaigns, false EEOC complaints filed via Hillary Clinton's former lawyer. The list goes on and on. And because of your steadfastness and your support and standing beside us and standing with us, InfoWars is moving forward through this unprecedented barrage and attack and are maintaining our current trajectory to expand in the face of the globalists. But your support has just come in right at where we needed it. So I want to thank you all. I want to thank the local radio stations, the TV stations, everybody. One area that has expanded under the attack is the number of TV stations and radio stations contacting us to pick up the broadcast. We have been deluged the last few months, but now it has reached really an amazing deluge with the crew that we've got, two great men working on taking all your calls and signing all the affiliate relations agreements. But I want to make it clear, for television, we are free to air. You can play over all the ads, you name it, UHF, VHF cable, you name it. We are here for you. Infowars.com/show has links to the affiliate page and the contact information. Now, that said, we've had Hillary Clinton's former, not just lawyer, but her former assistant lawyer when he got out of Georgetown and then worked for the State Department. He is quarterbacking the complete fiction filings that we are completely confident will be disintegrated in court and that we will be totally vindicated and then take action after that, because we have to set the precedent that you can't just absolutely, tell unbelievable lies about us and get away with it. That sets the precedent for not just us to be defamed for political purposes, but others. So again, that's a serious fight coming up. That takes major funds, so we appreciate all of you supporting us. We've got the biggest sales ever extended right through this week that we had last week, the Paul Revere Defend Free Speech, Defend the Internet, Defend the Second Amendment broadcast. That's going to extend those sales. Good to hear my sweet little daughter back there, 10 months old now. Didn't she just turn 10 months a few days ago, baby? On the 5th she does, yeah. So we've got all that going. It's today. See, I told you. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, where was I before we had my little sweetheart chiming in? Oh, I was getting into, we're having these big sales in defense of the Second Amendment, defense of free speech, defense of the Internet. And you can see how it is going on big time. And they can't stand the fact that you continue to support us, that you continue to pray for us, that you continue to take action. Now, that said, let's get to the latest disinfo, not against us, but against Trump. Oh, but let me add one other point, though, on that issue. It's incredible. I'm not even going to give these so-called journalists any attention. But without looking, I saw 3 different publications last night and this morning. 3 different publications that said that I totally made it up. YouTube isn't trying to bring me down. Nobody's filing false complaints. There are no strikes. There have been 5 strikes in 10 days. Now, they've removed all but 1 of them, but 3 of those would bring us down. We had 3 strikes as of Saturday, but the account was still there. I called some of our sources inside YouTube, and they went and looked at it, and they said, yeah, this is really weird. Just like some of your strikes have disappeared, but it doesn't even say that they accepted your appeal. This is very unusual. There's 3 strikes sitting here. Maybe it's under review, but a lot of times it'll just roll over in a few hours, and it hasn't rolled over yet, and then you'll be deleted. Last night I saw 2 articles. This morning I saw another one saying I made it up. CNN 10 days ago didn't say they were filing complaints to get us taken down. There weren't thousands of news articles saying that the last 10 days. There's not CNN going out and trying to stop Neil Strauss from working with me to publish a book on CNN money. There's not CNN contacting a bunch of so-called sponsors on YouTube that really weren't even sponsors and getting them to pull advertising to create this precedent that I'm collapsing. None of that happened because a particular BuzzFeed writer says so, and he talked to somebody that hasn't worked at our office in 2 years. Now, that's journalism. We talked to someone that worked there 2 years ago, and they say YouTube didn't talk to Jones. That's funny. That's really, really funny when that person never had any contact with any of our YouTube accounts. Had nothing to do with it. I mean, that is next level. I saw 2 other articles just saying, so see, they haven't succeeded in taking us down. You know, they're fighting hard. They're all over the news. And so now they're just saying that it's all made up. It's all a hoax. That's how stupid they think you are. Now, continuing. They were always saying that President Trump wasn't really running for president. It was all a stunt. Well, that's why he's announced he's running for a 2nd term, because it's all a stunt. He never wanted to be president. Yeah, right. All right, finishing this transmission. I got a call that interrupted me. The point is that they always said that President Trump didn't want to run for president and it was all a big hoax. Despite all the money he spent, the time, the energy. They said his wife didn't want to do it. I've talked to people behind the scenes. Trump's been totally committed from the beginning, really believes in what he's doing. Now, that said, remember, they all said, CNN, you name it, that he never wanted to be president. Well, now he announces 980-something days out that he wants to be president. And he wants to run for a second term. And then he's speaking at Mar-a-Lago a few days ago. And I remember seeing the CNN article about it, but actually went and looked at some of the other articles about folks that were actually there. And he was joking about the Chinese president getting rid of term limits and basically becoming a dictator because he's already elected by the Communist Party. And in other accounts, they said that everybody laughed. He was telling jokes. Even the CNN report says he was telling jokes, but they still acted like it was serious. Now, people like Scarborough, Mr. Disinformation, who said he never wanted to be president, who said Trump was a fraud, he comes out and says Trump's serious and wants to be a dictator. Well, if Trump did get rid of term limits and then he was elected by U.S. citizens, that would mean we got rid of term limits for the presidency, like we don't have for the Congress. He wouldn't be a dictator, he'd be elected. But here's the key. Trump has said he wants to do it in one term if he could and fix the country and leave, or he'd do it in two, but he'll be 79 years old when he leaves office if he gets a second term. 79. He got into office at 71. Okay? So, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a complete fraud. He was joking, and that shows how you can't even joke with these people because they spin everything. Bill Clinton said things would be a lot easier if I was a dictator, just so long as I'm the dictator, and so did Obama, so did a bunch of Bush. A bunch of them said that. But with Trump, he's transferring power back to the people, taking it away from the globalists, taking it away from the dictatorial TPP, taking it away from the dictatorial EU that's unelected. China is run by a communist dictatorship. The EU is an unelected dictatorship. The Democrats are the ones that want to bring in total tyranny and ban free speech. They're the authoritarians. And so their claims of pushing all this are a total and complete abject fraud. All right, again, I want to thank you all for your support. I want to salute you. Infowars.com, newswars.com, prisonplanet.com. Please support our local affiliates, TV affiliates, radio affiliates. They are so critical. Please spread the word. And please understand the fight to censor us is ongoing, but they're censoring everybody. And they backed down the last few days, but then SPLC operatives that run YouTube now are coming back in and still doing the strikes. So this ongoing saga is going to be ongoing. They're just hoping to confuse everybody and keep manipulating things until you guys just give up and stop paying attention. And that's how freedom dies, is in the dark. So there's an information war going on. It's who wants to fight the distance, who wants to go the 12 rounds. We're winning right now in round 7, but it's a close one. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support. If you're watching or listening to this transmission, you are the resistance.